Mr. Massiah, what is your opinion on the first quarter in which all the bridge banks have already been merged into you by Banca?
From a certain point of view, this is an historical quarter. We have finalized the last bank to be incorporated, Banca Tetina, and it even seems like it was much time ago. From the end results point of view, it's a very positive quarter. We have an important growth of the net profit. We have an important growth that is a very balanced growth because it's a combination of a positive growth in revenues, of a continuously consistent trend of costs that are perfectly under control and perfectly matching what was our industrial plan, and the cost of risk that is showing a trend and a dimension that is consistent of a known crisis period.
The goal for NPLs is to reduce them below 10% by 2019. Can we expect any announcement on their management?
You probably remember that in the call conference of the end of year results, we have announced that we were isolating a certain bucket of non-performing loans, applying the IFRS 9 first-time adoption option. The operations to finalize the sale of this bucket are perfectly on time. We are probably going to use the GACs too, or any way to request the use of the GACs, and we think that we will be on time to make an announcement before the end of the year. And anyway, we think that nothing changes in terms of our target of crossing from double-digit NPL gross ratio on total lending to single-digit within 2019, exactly as we have announced it.
The European Commission has communicated estimates for growth in Italian GDP of 1.5% in 2018 and 1.2% in 2019. Have you noticed this trend in the bank's business with firms and households? What specific initiatives has the bank taken to support the recovery?
The winners between companies are obviously the same that we have seen before. The export-oriented company not only have reached back the level before the crisis, but have even overcome and bypassed that level and clear winners out of the crisis. But even the companies that are much more depending on internal consumption are doing their job to come back. Obviously, it must be assisted. Obviously, we must have specific actions. One of the actions, for example, was for us to offer our contribution to 4.0 industrial action by the Association of Italian Entrepreneurs initiative, and altogether we are obviously offering all the possibilities in terms of lending activity. It's a moderate growth. In some areas it's very high in the north part of the country, but altogether resilience and patience are still the major drivers of this growth. In terms of householders, it's obvious that the memory of the crisis is still here. So people are not still ready to make major initiatives. Yes, they're still growing quite well on the mortgages, but more of these are secondary mortgages in the sense of not new acquisition, but refinancing. However, the lending after the pledge of the fifth of the salary, the mortgages by themselves are initiatives that are doing well. Even here, we must empathize and, in my point of view, sustain this approach by the families, which is a moderate approach, which is an approach that is not very much risk-oriented, but still allows a reasonably sustainable comeback from the crisis.